Watching our fighter jet get shot down right before our eyes, the pilot had no choice but to bail out and parachute to safety. The general flew into a rage. He immediately dispatched me, ordering me to take to the skies and eliminate the enemy planes. I fired up the jet's engines in a flash, roaring down the runway and into the air. As soon as I arrived at the combat zone, I spotted an enemy fighter closing in on my teammate. Without a second thought, I shot it down instantly. My teammate lit up with joy at the sight of me. We formed up into a formation, preparing to head back to base. But just then, another enemy plane emerged out of nowhere. Before we could react, my teammate's jet was blown apart in an instant. Enraged, I locked onto the enemy fighter immediately, unleashing a hail of gunfire. The enemy pilot pulled off a series of high-G evasive maneuvers to dodge my shots. To make matters worse, a second enemy plane appeared behind me and locked onto my jet in the blink of an eye. Before I could break free from the lock, it fired a missile straight at me. The situation was dire. I rolled my jet violently, narrowly evading the lethal projectile. But the danger was far from over. The missile kept chasing me relentlessly, closing in fast. I had to shake it off. That's when I spotted another enemy fighter. My chance had come. I hauled the jet upward sharply, charging straight toward the enemy plane. Just as we were about to collide, I whipped the jet into a sharp turn. The maneuver not only neutralized the missile threat, but also took out the enemy fighter in the process. Yet the enemy plane behind me still refused to let up, clinging to my tail. I decided to teach him a lesson. I swung the jet around and fired a missile at him immediately. He reacted quickly, deploying flares to decoy the missile. Now he had me locked in his sights. I had no choice but to dive toward the lake below, hoping to break his lock with the terrain. But he opened fire with his machine gun instead. No matter how hard I jinked and swerved, his bullets still hit my jet. My aircraft was damaged badly, and he had me locked on once again. A missile streaked toward me in an instant. Desperate, I jettisoned my external fuel tanks, using them to deflect the missile and survive the crisis. But the enemy pilots still wouldn't back off, pursuing me relentlessly. I pulled the jet upward sharply, planning to execute a Cobra maneuver to shake him off. But he was a skilled pilot. He swung his jet around to head straight for me in a head-on collision course. This left me with no chance to shoot him down. I spun my jet around and charged right back at him. He seemed determined to fight to the death, unleashing a continuous stream of gunfire. My jet sustained catastrophic damage, and his ammunition was finally exhausted. But I had already made my choice. By the time he realized what I was about to do, it was already too late.